Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. Good morning.
Welcome back to Real Talk with SLR.
How are you guys doing today?
Well, guys, the wind that was blowing really crazy yesterday surely did blow in quite the cold front.
Yes. We woke up. It was nice and warm inside the house. Got dressed. Got ready for the day. Step outside to take the kids to the bus stop, and we all,
It's a
holy
Carhartt
crap.
day.
It's a lot colder than I was expecting.
Yeah. I mean, it's deceiving because you look out the windows and the sun's shining and there's birds flapping around and everything, but it doesn't look as cold as it feels.
No.
Yeah.
It definitely wasn't like the frost or anything else like that out there, or, that things that you could see and be like, okay, it's going to be a pretty cold one this morning, No. It was nice and brisk as soon as you stepped out. It was pretty nice, though.
It was nice. Definitely woke me up, that's for sure.
I froze off my hands trying to grab all the other stuff that we need to do to continue on the work inside.
Which reminds me, we need to bust out our winter work gloves.
Yes.
Because I know that as soon as we finish working and doing all the finishing stuff here inside the basement, we're going to be freezing our booties off outside again.
Yep.
Like how we did last winter.
Yeah.
Which is all right by me. Honestly, I think I'd rather work in the cold than in the blistering hot.
Yes.
Personally. I think I'd rather deal with it being cold and, just the only thing I hate is wearing the gloves. I hate it. I hate wearing gloves, but it's a necessity because it gets so bitter cold, man. You can't, it hurts to bend your hands. It gets so cold.
Yep.
So you definitely got to wear the gloves.
Yeah, but
other than that, I'd rather work in it.
I hate wearing gloves.
Yeah.
And even in the cold, 9 times out of 10, I'm not wearing gloves.
Yeah, but you crazy.
Well, the dexterity of my hands and everything else. I hated having to wear gloves at work. Hated, but I was having to follow all the, protocols and OSHA and everything else. So, trust me, I know safety. That was my job. I had to enforce it all.
Which is kind of ironic.
It is pretty ironic. And I enforced it like no tomorrow. I've fired a lot of people for safety protocols and everything else. And it's a big thing. But at the same time, when it comes down to the gloves, I don't know. I don't like losing the dexterity of my hands and everything else. And when you're working with power tools and when you're working with all that kind of stuff, having the dexterity of your hands is really important. And especially when you're working with power tools. I know they say, oh, you should have gloves on. That's a hard one for me, being a safety-minded type of person and having mechanical stuff and whatnot, because I've definitely have heard issues with working winches with gloves. You get your glove stuck into that, and you get pulled in.
Yikes.
So I don't know. There are certain things where you got to sort of outweigh the pros and cons with it, and that's where it's a very huge thing. But
I just like wearing them in the winter because they keep my hands warm.
Yeah.
But I know what you mean, though. I remember building fences in Arizona and stuff like that, and it was really cold and wearing gloves. And then all the screws, right? And as I would be threading it, it would get caught up on my glove. Yeah. So it's not a winch, it's a screw and a drill, but I know what you're talking about the pulling.
Fabrics.
Yep.
It's the same thing if you have long hair and you're working on a machinery thing.
Oh, yeah.
Man, you better tie that thing up and get it, away from it, because you don't want to get sucked into that.
Yeah.
That stuff happens. And it's the same reason why I have my tattoo.
Me too.
On my wedding ring or finger instead of an actual ring. We have our rings.
Yeah,
they're just in the safe.
Yep, they're away in a safe.
But I don't like wearing my ring because I've had it get caught up a couple of times at work. Yeah. And I had to stop myself from continue going and not having that issue of what happens.
So Gary, before we moved out here, Gary used to work for a zipline company, in case you were wondering. He used to do wire rope and rigging, and he was in charge of safety and maintenance. So there's that.
Yes.
Because some people are probably like, what did he do for a living? That's what he used to do for a living, zipline tour company. So.
Yeah. And it's, I don't know. So I know all the safety stuff. I know what I'm supposed to be wearing or doing and everything else. And with the masks, yes, I should be wearing more masks.
You just don't listen to your own advice.
I don't. It's just
It's okay,
when
either do I.
when I'm in the middle of doing stuff and it's like this last
Well,
little bit, I
it's
wanted to
because
buy one of those respirator masks, but
the thing
they've
is our
gone up
to-do
so much
list
now.
is, well, it's not even the price to me. For me,
Right.
my brain just goes squirrel too much, and like our to-do list is so long. And me and Gary were always like, tomorrow by noon.
Yeah.
And then when we start tackling the project, there's so much like prep work that you can do, that you have to do before you actually do the thing you want to do. And it's like we always forget to account for that time,
Yeah.
it seems. But we have made a lot of really good progress this week. We are going to have a new video for you guys tomorrow. We did make a slight boo-boo, and we got the wrong finishing nails. So I'm going to be sending Gary to the store this morning while I get some more stuff done and cleaned up around the house and wait for him to get back, and then we can actually tack everything up because everything is stained, everything is cut to size, it's all where it needs to be. We just got to actually tack them all up against the door and window frames. So we should be done with that portion today.
Yes.
And then we can move on to finishing the bathroom, which is going to be the final thing on our list.
Mm-hmm. I'm pretty
And then we're done with the
this.
basement, at least for now.
Yeah. But it's getting there. I can't believe when we went to Home Depot that they only had one package of finishing nails.
I know.
One package. So I was like, well, I'm gonna buy them. Like, that's the only, like, I looked everywhere.
Yeah.
They only had one package. I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, that they've only got one package? Out of this whole hardware store, there's one package of finishing nails?
I guess everybody has been finishing up their projects.
I guess, but, yeah. So I grabbed the one package that they had, and go figure it, that doesn't size up to mine.
They're too small, right? They fall right through the hole.
They're 18 gauge, and I needed 16 gauge.
Go figure.
Which I didn't know the size of ours. Like, I completely just like spaced it on looking at them. I'm like, I want to say the last time I looked at it was like 16, 18, I'm not sure. So I was like, I think this is it.
We'll just buy these.
I'll just buy them. And they only had one, so why not? They were cheap.
It's all right. You can go over to Ace or S&W or something this morning in Booneville and go and grab some more and be back in a jiffy, and we'll be able to still have plenty of time to tack those up because all the hard work of cutting and staining and sanding and doing all the stuff that we needed to do for them is done. And now it's literally just tacking it up to the wall and
getting it where it needs to be.
I guess the only thing we still have left to do too, though, we have to cut the 90s or 45s.
Yeah, for the outer trim. But that's not going to take too long.
No, that's zip.
While I'm doing that, I'll end up probably having you use the finishing nailer and nail them in.
Yep.
And whatnot.
We're going to tag team it.
I'll show you where I want it to be hit with the nail gun, because there's two different spots that I want it to get hit. By the door, we're going to have to hit it in a different way, because I had to build a trim around the door to where it's hiding the actual drywall because of where this door is and everything. Normally you'll have the door all the way up to where the drywall is flush to it, and then you just mount that to the door frame.
Yeah, but the double doors were a little bit trickier and different than that.
It's just when we installed them and how we did it all and everything else, and I wanted it to connect to the block as well as the wood, and so
that's what I'm saying. The double doors were a little bit different and trickier than that. The inner doors are not that way.
No, so it's it should be pretty easy. I've got all that all trimmed up and everything. We just need to tack it in with the nailer.
Yeah,
I was about to hit it today.
Everything just needs to be tacked in.
I was like, let's do it. I go to put the nails in, and it just slipped right out to the bottom. I was all, well, that sucks.
Which actually I was kind of happy about, because I was in the shower and he was trying to work without me again. And I was like, darn you. Gary does this to me often, where like he gets so go, where he just does things,
I can't help it.
Which is awesome. I appreciate it. But then it's like bad for me for making videos, because I'm like, oh, it looks awesome, but I wanted to record you doing it. I love it though, babe. It looks great.
I want to get it. Whenever I'm in that work mode, that's...
Because he doesn't set up cameras or do anything like that.
I'm going to say this now. I'm sorry, baby, for yesterday's footage.
I haven't even looked at it yet.
She gave me the camera and everything. She's like, don't forget to record what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. I was like, all right. I got it. I'll move the camera around while I'm cutting and all that. Well, I started cutting and completely spaced the camera was out there and everything
Did you even
because
turn it on?
I turned it on a little bit after, like,
After.
after I realized that I cut like probably 4 or 5 boards, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right.
This is what I'm working with, people.
Because you gave me the camera, I brought the camera out there, I put it down, and then I have to run around, grab all the stuff that I need, to set it up. And then once I got it all set up, I'm like, all right, I'm set up, I'm going. And I'm like, time-wise, I'm like, oh crap, that's right, camera. My bad.
Hilarious, babe, hilarious. That's all right. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out.
I gave you I tried to get some good angles with what I did give you, but I'm just saying, like, you're gonna notice the bigger cuts. You're gonna be like, how is it that you only cut 2? I thought you cut way more than that.
It's okay. I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I'll make it work.
Oops.
I've worked with less before. It's okay.
And then I tried showing you footage of me setting up some stuff because it was.
Yeah, because Gary and I were separated yesterday. He was doing his thing, making some cuts and doing some things. I was doing some things on the inside for the windowsills and everything, and I had to finish off the staining after he cut the pieces. So it was kind of an assembly line going on, but he was outside and I was inside, so.
Well, I had to cut and sand and everything else, and I was just like, man, I need to get this going. I need to get it done.
Which I'm happy you did, because we got a timeline. We're trying to finish up this basement by the end of this week, so it's okay. It's all right.
Just saying. I did give you a little footage.
I'm not upset. It's all good.
I'm just saying.
It's all good.
That's what happens.
So you guys are going to see that in a video coming tomorrow, whatever I could polish and however I could turn it out to be. But yeah, we'll see how it works out. Yep. We're going to add the footage from yesterday in with today, and I think you guys are going to like how the finished look of it, because I know that now all that craziness is done. We've actually got to tack it all up to the wall, and like Gary held it up against the wall today, and then I stood back so I can get a good look for it, and it looks beautiful. And that was just holding it there. So I know that once we actually tack it all up and it's there, it definitely changes the vibe and the feel when you're sitting here and looking towards that way. Finished.
It will finish.
It'll feel a lot more finished.
Yes.
And then even though it's just paper stuff up here, having this, gray paper stuff up, it makes that feel more finished too, even though it's not. We're probably going to do something. I mean, we are definitely going to do something else up there, like we've talked about before later on. But for now, it feels great. It looks great too.
I don't know, per fire code, I got to get the gypsum board 5/8 inch. For the top, because we're in the basement.
Okay.
So whatever we do, we just put that in first, and then we can do whatever on top of that.
Cool.
So we don't have to finish that drywall. We just need to get it up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And get it to where I think it's like a grade 5 finishing, where it's just the tape. So that way there's no air gaps going into it, but it doesn't need to be like super done.
Yeah.
Especially if we're going to put something over it.
Well, we're not doing any of that for a while, right?
Yeah,
because we still got it. We're still going to have to get into the electricity and the water and everything for the cabin upstairs when we get to building the cabin.
Correct.
Eventually.
I want to make sure that I can get everything. We still have to put in the AC system. Yep. And I'm going to go about it in a traditional way with ducting and everything else, because I've just looked into it all already and the way I'm going and whatnot.
Yeah.
So.
I'm excited though. I'm excited to finish out this week really strong. I am super duper excited to be done, and then to be able to move on to the next very big exciting phase that we're going to be working on. Sorry for teasing you guys yesterday and talking about bean spilling and stuff, and then not spilling any beans. But you guys just have like the tiniest little bit to wait, and then all will be revealed. So
I hope you guys understand.
You guys will. They will understand.
That
they will.
There's some big stuff moving and coming.
Yeah.
Big stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm just trying to get you guys hyped up for it. Because I'm hyped up.
Oh my gosh. And the thing is like, our brains, they go squirrel enough. Like tomorrow by noon, we always think that we can get things done super quick. And I don't want to like have the additional pressure of of anticipation. But I'm so excited. I'm so excited, man. By the end of this week, we should be done with this basement, which will be a huge burden off of both of us. To know that there's no more stuff going to be happening in here, and from here on out, it's going to be outside work,
Yes.
which is actually going to help with my filming too, because filming inside the basement, it's a little bit challenging. Doing it in here, it's a little bit challenging at times. It's not the worst, but it's not the best either. So I think that when we do move on to some of the outside stuff and some of the bigger things that we have going on and up, I think that I'm going to be able to, I guess, step up my game with my filming again and do it how I really like to do it. Because right now it's been a little bit scattered.
No.
So.
It's all right.
Yeah, it's all good. Hey, it is what it is. It's life.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to send you to the store. I got some stuff I got to work on here first to get everything ready for a video that you guys are going to see tomorrow. And that way when you get back from the store, we can just...
Yep. I want to triple check with everything to make sure that we're good and we don't need anything else before I go, because
that's always a good idea.
To not have to go back to town.
Yeah. Well, we thought we got everything this weekend when we went shopping, but,
Yeah. Well, I'm just saying, just in case.
Yeah.
Just in case. So.
It's a good idea. Well, guys, I wanted to say thank you so much for hanging out with us this morning. And we will have a new video on Simple Life Reclaimed for you guys tomorrow. I hope that you guys enjoy it. It's got some updates of things that we've been working on, talking to you guys about. And I hope that you guys can stick around for that. So we'll be back here on Real Talk with SLR tomorrow as well. So until then, guys, we love y'all, and we hope you have a good one.
And we'll catch you on the next one.
Bye, you guys.
Later.